Apollo 16. Incredibly, it happened to Apollo 15 as well. It seems bad luck comes in threes, even on the moon.
In Italy's 75th space mission, bright lights swarmed around a snapped tether like wasps, caught on camera in a shocking twist. The mission began aiming to use solar winds for energy, but chaos erupted when the tether broke, sending the satellite drifting into space. NASA has kept quiet about these glowing objects, stirring up wild theories and fears. Why won't they talk about what was really seen? Join us as we uncover the terrifying secrets behind these ghostly lights in Italy in hopes of finding something new in space. The Untold space encounter. The mission footage showed several bright objects moving around the loose tether, like wasps swarming a nest. But these glowing objects were not mentioned in NASA's official mission report. Even more puzzling, NASA has always refused to comment on these bright lights, leaving many people wondering what they really were. This incident has sparked many discussions and theories, but without an official explanation, it remains a mystery. Did the objects come closer to inspect the odd, floating piece of space debris, or did they cause the cable to break in the first place? Fancy a cup of tea, Apollo 16? This question marks a unique moment during the mission. Apollo 16 took off on April 16, 1972. After spending just 11 days in orbit, the three astronauts saw something truly extraordinary. They spotted a strange craft with a circular design and a big dome on top. The astronauts quickly recorded a short video of this unusual sight. This unexpected encounter in the vastness of space not only made them curious, but also left them wondering about the origins and intentions of such an unexplained visitor. As they continued their journey, the image of that mysterious craft stayed with them, a vivid reminder of the endless possibilities hidden in the depths of space. So as they orbited, they kept their eyes peeled, scanning the vast expanse for any more surprises. The encounter added a layer of intrigue and mystery to their mission, making them realize how much we still have to learn about space. A surprising twist, footage showing an unidentified flying object was captured, only to disappear for over 30 years. Shockingly, during all that time, no copies of the footage seemed to exist. But then, an employee at the Johnson Space Center stumbled upon the long-lost tape. Using advanced digital techniques, experts scanned the tape in high resolution, revealing new details. The enhanced image showed the UFO with patterns of white and gold circles on its domed top, and a long, slender arm sticking out from its side. The appearance left little doubt. It looked just like a flying saucer. This ongoing mission on Mars is a constant reminder of our pursuit of knowledge and the surprises our universe has in store. But there's more to this story, as each new discovery brings even more questions and excitement. A strange event that's hard to understand, there's a noticeable delay between recordings from two cameras. The light vanished before the left camera even started. NASA first said it was a reflection from a shiny rock, but this happened when there wasn't much light, making their explanation doubtful. They then suggested a cosmic ray hit the camera's center, but if that were true, these disturbances would show up in images every day. What's even more puzzling is that this same mysterious light appeared in a previous photo, needing a logical explanation. And it gets more intriguing. Whether it's a living creature or a sculpted artifact, this object stands out in the Martian landscape. It challenges what we currently understand and opens up exciting possibilities about life on Mars. Sometimes people see familiar shapes in odd places. It's a common oddity of human perception. For example, someone once claimed to have seen Elvis's silhouette in a kidney bean, and another person found the face of Jesus Christ on a burnt piece of toast. This raises the question: are we so desperate to discover alien life that we start to imagine it in everyday objects? Or is this simply a distraction from a more significant discovery that could be right in front of us? Another intriguing event: an amateur astronomer spotted a peculiar object orbiting Earth in 2012. This object, also observed by a powerful telescope in Italy, was estimated to be about 60 feet long and spun around its axis once every minute. It was named J002E3. Despite its noticeable changes in brightness as it rotated, it went undetected by NASA's system that scans for unusual objects in near-Earth space. NASA concluded that it wasn't just any space debris or a known celestial body, suggesting it had recently entered Earth's orbit. Its strange, unstable, looping orbit eventually flung it from Earth's gravity into a path around the Sun. Predictions say it will return in about 30 years, leading some to speculate it might be an alien spacecraft. NASA launched what was publicly described as a mission to the Moon, known as the Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite Mission. However, the mission involved crashing a 2.2-ton rocket booster into the Moon, which some people described as more of a destructive act than a scientific one. This event led to widespread speculation about the real reasons behind such an aggressive approach and what NASA intended to achieve with it. The lunar mission's findings amazed everyone, but more surprises awaited. The Google Moon Experiment. The rocket crashed into the Cabeus crater near the Moon's south pole, creating a huge cloud of dust and debris. The mission's main goal was to use a lunar reconnaissance orbiter to collect samples from this cloud. Scientists were very excited to see if the Moon's craters might have frozen water. But then, something unexpected happened. The orbiter sent back a photo that caused a lot of excitement. It showed a rectangular shape in the crater's shadow. This strange sight led to many wild theories. Some people said that NASA had actually set off a nuclear device on the Moon and that the search for water was just a cover-up. They even suggested it might be an alien base or a secret research center by a foreign country. And this wasn't the first strange thing NASA found on the Moon. In 1972, while another probe was orbiting the Moon, NASA saw something equally weird. This past event added more fuel to the current theories, making people wonder what might really be hidden on the Moon's surface. The deep shadows of the Stevenus crater, a sudden flash of lightning sparked interest and curiosity. People were unsure if this burst of electricity hit the Moon's surface or came up from below. This strange event led to guesses about a hidden moon base in the crater. This idea wasn't so far-fetched, as the US government had once planned such a base. It was called Project Horizon, and it was supposed to be finished by 1966, with a budget of $6 billion. However, President Eisenhower stopped the project before it could happen. But this wasn't the most interesting part. Another possible reason for the flash could be a lightning sprite, which is a type of electrical discharge that happens in Earth's atmosphere. Sprites spread out within clouds and disappear before reaching the ground. This could explain the mysterious flash on the Moon. If confirmed, this natural phenomenon, common on Earth, would be a big discovery for our understanding of the Moon's atmosphere. Imagine finding out that lightning, something so familiar on Earth, could happen on the Moon too. It would change how we see the Moon and its environment. This simple observation could open up new questions and discoveries about our closest neighbor in space. Imagine if the Moon had its own atmosphere. Picture 3 astronauts walking on its surface. This story starts with Google Earth, a tool that lets anyone with a computer explore our world from home. This cool platform sparked the curiosity of many online explorers who wanted to find unusual things all over the planet. These strange discoveries could easily fill a top 10 list of moon mysteries. Curious to know more, Google teamed up with NASA in 2009 to launch a big project called Google Moon. This digital map let users explore the Moon's surface from their computers. Soon, one very sharp-eyed observer made an exciting discovery. This person, while looking at the detailed images, noticed a shadowy figure that looked like someone walking on the Moon. This mysterious figure got people talking and wondering. NASA didn't comment on the speculation about this shadowy form, leaving it for everyone to see on Google Moon. Was this a mistake, a deliberate move, or just a trick of the light? This image led to a lot of discussions and theories about the lunar walker. The vast, empty landscape of Mars, covered in rocks and red dust. Something surprising was found. On March 17, 2017, the Mars Opportunity rover sent back an image that stunned everyone. It showed what looked like a large, shiny piece of metal sticking out of the Martian soil. This shiny object stood out clearly among the usual dust and stones. The image was hard to understand because of the dark shadows around the object. It was difficult to tell if the object was coming out of the ground, lying on top of it, or even floating in the air. Strangely, the object looked a lot like what we imagine an alien spacecraft to be. A round, flat disk with a dome on top like a cockpit. The resemblance was so strong that it made people wonder about its origin. Could this be a trick of the light? Or our minds seeing familiar shapes where there are none? This is known as pareidolia, where we see meaningful images in random patterns. But what if this was something more? What if this was the proof we needed that intelligent life exists beyond Earth? Finding such evidence would change everything, showing us that we are not alone in the universe. This shiny object, half buried in the Martian desert, makes us think about the endless possibilities waiting for us in space. The discovery of this strange object sparked a lot of discussions. Some scientists thought it could be a piece of space debris, something that fell off a spacecraft. Others wondered if it could be a natural formation, a rare type of rock that happened to look like metal. But some people couldn't help but think about the possibility of alien life. This idea, though exciting, needed solid evidence to be taken seriously. The Mars discovery raised big questions, hinting at something extraordinary. Martian ancient questions. As more people examined the image, the mystery only deepened. The object's shape and shiny surface seemed almost too perfect to be a natural formation. This led to more theories and debates. What if this was a sign of an ancient Martian civilization, or maybe a marker left by visitors from another world? The possibilities were endless, and each one was more intriguing than the last. But the questions didn't stop there. The more scientists looked into the object, the more they wondered about its true nature. Could it be that we had finally found proof of life beyond Earth? This shiny piece of metal in the Martian soil might hold the key to answering one of humanity's oldest questions. Are we alone in the universe? The excitement and curiosity it sparked were just the beginning of a new chapter in space exploration. Long ago, people built huge stone structures to honor their gods and perform rituals. These impressive stone formations can be found all over the world. For example, there's the famous Stonehenge in England and the Karnak stones in France. These structures show how clever and resourceful our ancestors were. But we still don't fully understand how they managed to lift and place such large stones without the technology we have today. An amazing discovery in 2012, an astronomer saw what looked like a huge standing stone on Mars. Later, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter confirmed this finding. Clear images showed the stone from two angles, revealing its large 5-meter size and sharp, man-made appearance. This was very different from the natural, smooth Martian landscape around it. But this wasn't the strangest part. The stone seemed to be shaped or placed by someone or something. The existence of this structure on Mars sparks ongoing debates and studies. It challenges what we know about ancient civilizations and their abilities. Could it be that there was once a civilization capable of traveling between planets? Or is it just one piece of a bigger mystery we have yet to solve? As we explore these questions about the Martian monolith, we get closer to understanding the full range of human ingenuity from long ago. October, many people get a big pumpkin and carve it into a jack-o'-lantern. Since 2014, it seems even the universe joins in the Halloween fun. On October 8th, 2014, NASA shared a strange photo of the sun that made that Halloween even spookier. The Solar Dynamics Observatory captured this photo, showing the sun's active regions, bright and energetic areas, lined up to look like a jack-o'-lantern's face. These regions made it seem like the sun had glowing eyes, a nose, and a jagged smile, as if a cosmic artist had carved it into a pumpkin. NASA named this image Pumpkin Sun because it looked just like the Halloween decoration. Wouldn't it be amazing if the sun did this again for future Halloweens? Another mix of space and popular culture, the 1977 movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind suggested using music to talk to aliens. If that movie were made today, it might use emojis instead, since these little icons are so popular now. Even Jupiter seems to agree. In 2017, a citizen scientist named Jason Major was looking at pictures from NASA's Juno spacecraft and found one of Jupiter that looked like a grimacing face. The image showed two storm systems that looked like eyes and a wide mouth, just like the grimace emoji we all know. The Juno spacecraft, launched in 2011 to study Jupiter, sometimes gives us images that are both useful for science and fun to look at. But this wasn't the strangest part. NASA said that while these images are often edited for art and science, they can also be playful. But Jupiter's grimacing look might be a sign that it's unhappy with how we're treating Earth. Could this cosmic frown be a warning of some kind? Just like in Star Wars and Star Trek, where we explore new worlds, these space expressions bring the universe a bit closer to us, making it part of our everyday digital chats. A beloved icon of pop culture, this show has inspired many astronomers, astronauts, and physicists. They've been motivated to push the boundaries of what we know and imagine a future beyond Earth. During its 50th anniversary in 2016, NASA shared an amazing image that got people excited worldwide. This image showed the silhouette of the famous Starship Enterprise, seemingly formed by natural phenomena between two nebulae. NASA highlighted two well-known models of the Enterprise from the series, the original from the classic series and the sleeker version from the Next Generation. The classic model was on the right, and the Next Generation model was on the left. The resemblance was brought to life with some creativity and help from the Spitzer Space Telescope team. The formation on the right looked like the original Enterprise NCC 1701, and the one on the left looked like the more modern NCC 1701D. The Martian monolith hinted at ancient secrets, but even more wonders awaited. The cosmic message: hints of extraterrestrial contact. What's even more fascinating is that this visual spectacle is located within the disk of our Milky Way galaxy. The image shows areas where stars are being born, partially hidden by cosmic dust, which usually blocks our view in normal light. While it might be easy to dismiss this as a coincidence, it raises a playful question. What if this is a sign? What if, somewhere in the vastness of space, an entity has received our signals and is trying to communicate with us, hinting that it has indeed noticed us? This whimsical thought invites us to think about the possibility of not being alone in the universe and being on the brink of an amazing discovery. Something amazing appeared in the skies that made astronomers and space fans look up in wonder. Saturn, famous for its rings and moons, showed us something that looked like it came straight out of an old sci-fi TV show. Among its moons, there was one named Atlas that didn't look like a typical round moon. Instead, it looked like the UFOs seen in classic shows like The Twilight Zone. Atlas is tiny, only about 19 miles across, much smaller than its giant neighbor Titan, which is 3,200 miles wide. This small moon's disk shape with a central bulge made NASA nickname it the Flying Saucer Moon. But could it really be a UFO hiding as a moon? Meanwhile, far beyond our solar system, an incredible discovery called the Hand of God fascinated scientists. This object is a pulsar named PSR B1509-58, or B1509 for short, which is a small but powerful stellar remnant about 12 miles wide. Despite its size, it creates a stunning X-ray nebula that stretches across 150 light-years. The pulsar is about 1,700 years old and sits 17,000 light-years from Earth. It spins very fast, sending out energy that shapes the space around it into amazing structures that look like a giant hand. NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory captured this in bright colors: red for low-energy rays, green for mid-range, and blue for high-energy rays. But this wasn't the only surprising part. The pulsar's fast rotation and strong magnetic field make it extremely powerful, creating one of the strongest electromagnetic fields in our galaxy. This field sends out a stream of particles that form the beautiful nebula we see. As these particles move through the magnetized nebula, they lose energy, helping to create this cosmic display. The nebula has finger-like extensions that touch and light up parts of a nearby gas cloud called RCW-89. This interaction causes bright X-ray emissions from these areas, raising interesting questions about what might be hidden in the cloud. A camera operated by a team from the University of Arizona, installed on NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, captured an unusual and somewhat unsettling image on the surface of Mars. For several days, this image held the team's attention, stirring up a mix of excitement and unease. The photograph showed a fresh impact site with several craters, and below these, new dark streaks sloping downhill. What set these streaks apart was their shape, which looked surprisingly like the head of a wolf. This formation was strikingly similar to the emblem of House Stark from the TV show Game of Thrones, which features the head of a dire wolf. The similarity was so remarkable that it left the team in awe, wondering about the visual tricks the Martian landscape could play. It seemed almost as though Mars was reflecting elements of earthly culture back at us through natural phenomena, linking two vastly different worlds with a simple image. But this wasn't the strangest part. Though the team knew it was just a coincidence, the image raised questions and curiosity about what other visual surprises Mars might hold. The shape on Mars, formed purely by chance through a series of avalanches, and possibly influenced by wind patterns, makes us think about the random beauty of the universe. It challenges us to wonder, even if just for a moment, about the vast and often unexplored connections between celestial bodies. The idea of a Martian wolf adds a layer of intrigue to our understanding of the red planet, inviting us to look closer and explore more. This curiosity isn't limited to Mars. It extends to other explorations in space where cameras like the Hubble telescope continue to discover shapes and patterns on other celestial bodies, sparking imaginations and inviting more questions about the nature of our universe. These images challenge our perception, encouraging us to see familiar shapes in the unlikeliest of places and reminding us of the continuous mysteries the cosmos holds. But this is just the beginning. These moments, where nature mimics art or the familiar, reinforce the intriguing connections between our home planet and the uncharted territories of space. Every new discovery invites us to explore further and see the universe through a lens of curiosity and wonder. When looking at some of the most colorful and beautiful nebulae, the Hubble Space Telescope captured an image that amazed astronomers. During its observations, Hubble found a nebula with two distinct lobes spreading out from a central star system, where jets of gas formed elongated bubbles. This formation, called the Twinjet Nebula, looked like a glowing, ethereal butterfly. The Twinjet Nebula's beauty showed dying stars' secrets, promising more cosmic marvels. The final symphony of stars. The striking image of the Twinjet Nebula, officially named PNM 2-9, was shared by the European Space Agency in 2015. It was the clearest view of this nebula since it was first found in 1947. The image showed the nebula's bright lobes, which scientists think were formed around 1,200 years ago. These glowing and expanding gas shells were in the final stages of an aging star's life cycle, a star that was neither very big nor very small, but somewhere in the middle. But this wasn't the most interesting part. This stunning display not only showed the changing phases of a star, but also gave a deeper understanding of the life cycle of stars. The clear image let astronomers study the intricate details of the nebula's structure, observing how the materials expelled by the star shaped the surrounding space. The observations from Hubble helped uncover the complex dynamics at play, showing how stars like this one sculpt the cosmos with their dying breaths, leaving behind spectacular remnants for scientists to explore. But that's not all. The image of the Twinjet Nebula also served as a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the universe. It showed how, even in death, stars can create something incredibly beautiful and intricate, offering a glimpse into the cosmic processes that continue to shape our universe. When you look closely at the image, you see bright blue streams near the center. These aren't just any streams. They are strong twin jets shooting out into space at more than 1 million kilometers per hour. At the core of this nebula is a pair of stars, making it a bipolar nebula. This is one of the many stunning views captured by the Hubble Space Telescope over its years of exploring space. Exploring bipolar planetary nebulae, like the Twinjet Nebula and M1-63, gives us a glimpse into a universe full of colorful formations and dynamic processes. Captured by the Hubble Space Telescope, these nebulae are especially interesting because they show material being thrown out from stars in shapes that look like hourglasses or butterflies. Take the Twinjet Nebula, for example. It has two bright lobes stretching out from a central binary star system, with massive jets of gas shooting out at over 1 million kilometers per hour. This incredible setup comes from the interaction of two stars. Material from a dying star is pushed by its companion, creating the nebula's amazing structure. The bright colors and complex shapes, like shells and knots of expanding gas, show just how dynamic and active this nebula is. Studying these nebulae helps astronomers understand more about the life cycle of stars and the processes that create such intricate structures. Each image and observation by telescopes like Hubble reveals more about the forces shaping our universe. When we look closely at the Twinjet Nebula, we see its twin lobes stretching from the binary star system at its center. The gas jets aren't just moving, they're speeding at over 1 million kilometers per hour. This rapid movement is due to the interaction between the stars. The dying star releases material, and its companion star propels this material outward, creating the hourglass shape. The nebula's colors come from different gases being excited by the star's radiation, resulting in a breathtaking display. Every time we observe these nebulae with powerful telescopes like Hubble, we learn more about our universe. The detailed images show not just shapes and colors, but also the dynamic processes creating them. Studying nebulae like the Twinjet Nebula and M1-63 helps scientists understand the final stages of stellar evolution and the forces at play in these cosmic displays. By examining these nebulae, astronomers piece together the life stories of stars and the dramatic events shaping their final stages, giving us a deeper understanding of the universe's complexities. Exploring bipolar planetary nebulae like the Twinjet Nebula and M1-63 helps us learn about the changing lives of stars. These nebulae form when stars throw off their outer layers into space as they near the end of their lives. This material spreads out and glows, making beautiful, symmetrical shapes like hourglasses or butterflies. The Hubble Space Telescope has taken detailed pictures of these processes, showing how gas and dust work together to shape the nebula. The Twinjet Nebula is well known for its unique two-lobed shape. This shape is thought to come from two stars at the center of the nebula, one likely being a white dwarf, which is a dense leftover of a star like our Sun. The two stars influence the material thrown off from them, creating the twin jet structure. But this isn't the most interesting part. This structure not only looks amazing, but also helps astronomers learn about how white dwarfs form and how stellar material spreads out into space. M1-63 is another great example, showing similar features and highlighting how companion stars shape the surrounding nebula. Studying these nebulae helps scientists learn more about how stars evolve and how nebulae form, which adds to our overall understanding of the life cycle of stars in the universe. Do you think the Twinjet Nebula's beauty outweighs its scientific importance? Share your thoughts in the comments, like, and subscribe for more.